Jazz lost a tough one to Tony Brothers. I mean, the Portland Trail Blazers. It's the Hoops Nerd post-game show. Let's talk about it. All right, guys. That was a tough loss for the Jazz, who fought back after an incredible first quarter from Anfernee Simons. Let's talk about the Blazers first before we talk about the Jazz. Anfernee Simons was the story of this game tonight. The Blazers were obviously without Damian Lillard, and Anfernee Simons says, Damian who? He was absolutely incredible. And this is one of those players I've been watching this season. I've watched 3-4, non-Jazz, games where the Jazz weren't playing the Blazers. I was just watching the Blazers because the Blazers are pretty fun and they're interesting. And Anfernee Simons is just one of those guys that's just absolutely remarkable. His 3-point shooting is just bonkers. And so he had that first half where I think he had 33 in the first half. I can't remember exactly. Unbelievable stuff from Anfernee Simons. He plays 41 minutes tonight. Every minute mattered. His offense is out of this world. He shot the ball 25 times. I would say that Anfernee Simons for this Blazers team is just huge. And that contract looks so good because this guy is just absolute beast. Look at this, 45 points for the game in a close one. He was a +5. This offense is out of this world. Look at this, 7 for 12 from 3. One of the things about his game is there's some of those guys out there that their shot is just so pure and it just looks like it's so automatic. He is a gifted shooter. And you kind of knew him coming out of the draft was going to be great. He just was so small and so young that he just needed time to kind of grow and develop. And man, has he done that. He is just phenomenal. And he has definitely been tutored under Damian Lillard, who has helped kind of mentor him into what he is. He's phenomenal. 41 minutes, 15 for 25, 60% from the field, 58% from 3, 8 for 8 from the free throw line. I mean, that'll do it. The Blazers had lost like 6 of their last 7 or something like that. So they came in and Anfernee Simons just decided he was going to win the game. We got to give credit to Jeremy Grant as well, who scored 33 points tonight, 10 for 18 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3. It's really kind of this is really something the Jazz have to kind of figure out because they have the number 25. Let's look at it. We need to refresh this. This is the current offensive and defensive standings. I guess because we're talking about the Blazers, let's talk about them and see where they're at. Portland is right now number 13 offensively, which is kind of interesting. You'd think they'd be a little better. 13's not bad. It's above average, but you'd think they'd be a little bit higher. Defensively, where do they fall? Where are they? Portland is number 23. The Jazz right there at 24. So 2 of the lesser defenses in the league. So anyways, just a monster night from Anfernee Simons. For him to do that tonight was just out of this world. We didn't see a lot of Shaedon Sharpe tonight. 17 minutes. He struggled the last time the Jazz played him. So I feel bad. I wanted to see like more from Shaedon Sharpe and we just didn't. So 3 for 11 from him, 0 for 1. Stuff I've seen from him is that he looks like just an absolute stud, but the next step for him is going to be, can he do this every night? And tonight he didn't do it. They didn't necessarily need him to, but this Shaedon Sharpe looks like he has the makings of a really nice NBA player. Obviously the physical tools are there, and he showed enough just with his game that he is going to be really nice for them. If you're a Blazers fan, you want him to develop as fast as possible, and so you're hoping that he can do it sooner than later. And nights like this are going to happen, but if he can just figure things out by the end of the year and contribute a little bit in the playoffs, because I think the Blazers are going to make the playoffs, especially when Damian Lillard comes back, then that's big time for them. Because, Damian Lillard is incredible, but he's not going to last forever. And so the sooner he can develop, the better. I actually liked Greg Brown. I didn't really pay too much attention. I didn't realize he was playing tonight. But I liked him in the draft. This guy is just an absolute athlete. And so it's kind of nice to see him. Just a glance at his numbers, pretty decent. 2 for 4. He was a +2. Pretty nice. I don't know if I have much else to add other than that Jeremy Grant and Anfernee Simons are just really nice players, and they're building around them. Nurkic is a solid center. Look at that, 14 rebounds. He was big time for them as well. This Jazz team really struggles to rebound, and that was part of the reason why they couldn't win this game. Yusuf Nurkic really was a big part of that. The Jazz just have to figure out how to rebound, and so Nurkic was a guy that could take advantage of the Jazz's lack of ability to get all the defensive rebounding is just not good for the Jazz. And so let's look at that. Before we do, let's give a shout out to Prize Picks, sponsor of this channel. Hoops Nerd promo code, guys. Go to Prize Picks. I won tonight. I got my overs. I finally won. I had my 2 games before this. I lost. The 2 times I lost was a combined 3 points. The pain. But I tell you what's really nice is when you hit that green, it looks good. It feels good. You feel happy in your soul. Go to Prize Picks. Use promo code HoopsNerd. It supports the channel. Plus, they match up to $100. So if you like to go, if you're having a night in and you're watching the basketball, go put down a few props through Prize Picks and go win money. It's easy. But anyways, free money from Prize Picks. Go use it. It's fun. It's I like to do it. I don't know. Go do it. And be smart, by the way. Be smart. All right, let's see. Let's talk about the Utah Jazz. All right, so this was a tough one for Utah. It really was just a struggle. I mean, this game was lost in the first quarter, basically, when they could not stop Simons. He got hot, and then he was just like lights out. First half for Simons was as good as any you'll ever see, and he ends the game with 45. Luckily, and I think it's really something you've got to remember with this Jazz team, they just never stop fighting. I wrote about it in the preview for SLC Dunk. Their ability to just fight through adversity is unbelievable. They never quit. They never stop, no matter what adversity happens. And Victor, you're right. That no call by Tony Brothers. I mean, if Adam Silver wants any sort of credibility as a commissioner at this point, he's got to talk to Monty McCutchen, and they've got to remove Tony Brothers. He is an absolute garbage official. He is bad at his job. That's at best. He's bad. At worst, we could talk about what may be going on. I don't want to go look at the over-unders, but man, when someone misses something like that, missed call on JC, it makes you wonder. And Adam Silver and Monty McCutchen, you absolutely don't want people assuming or wondering those things. Right? Right? And if you don't want people wondering about those things, then you need to remove Tony Brothers. He is trash. He is a garbage official. And not only is he an official, he's like head official half the time. So Monty McCutchen approves Tony Brothers as an official in this league. And so it's hard for me to take Monty McCutchen seriously. It's hard for me, obviously, to take Adam Silver seriously if nothing ever happens with this. And Tony Brothers needs to be removed. I think he's already been suspended this year for calling a player an MFer. Okay? So how he's still officiating is beyond me. But that no call on Jordan Clarkson was an absolute joke. Absolutely a joke. We can argue. Fans are always going to not going to agree on whether games were officiated for the Jazz or for the Blazers. But when you watch that play, I don't care if you're a Blazers fan, Jazz fan, NBA fan, that was a foul. That was ridiculous. And they don't call the foul. That's unbelievable. Everything else, whatever. And then to compound it by calling a tech on Will Hardy? Are you kidding? I mean, that changed the game. That's like a 3-point swing. Because if Clarkson goes to the free throw line, knocks down 2 free throws, that's a 5-point swing. And guess what? The Jazz lost this one by how many points? 5 points. So Tony Brothers absolutely cost the Jazz a chance to win this game by doing that call. Sorry, it's a fact. And if Adam Silver wants any sort of credibility, Monty McCutchen, if you want any sort of credibility, then you'll do something about it. Okay? Do something. Stop putting on bow ties and do your job. Okay? Stop getting on broadcasts. Stop getting on podcasts. Stop getting on radio shows and do your job. Do your job. You're head of training. Do your job. And stop having NBA calls and calls with people like me to yell at me for things I write and say. Okay? Do your job. I do my job. You do your job. All right, let's talk about the Utah Jazz. Lauri Markkanen scored 21 tonight. He had 6 rebounds, 2 assists. I wonder if he was a little tired tonight. Although, and by the way, I'm tired. So many freaking back-to-backs for this team. The Jazz have literally played more games than anyone in the NBA by like 2, actually. And tonight's and it's just like they lead the league in back-to-backs. This Jazz team has got to be exhausted. I tell you what, I'm exhausted. I have been exhausted these last 2 weeks because this Jazz team plays every single night. Every single night, it feels like. And so finally, like a 3-day rest, I'll be able to finish my other video. But man, this Jazz team needs rest because you know how I can tell they need rest? I need rest. But anyways, I'm guessing that Lauri Markkanen was a little tired tonight. 4 for 10. That's actually, I mean, for being tired, this is pretty good. 4 for 6, 21 points. He was a +6. He's just such a good player. And he's consistently scoring over 20 every single night. You know, it's pretty remarkable. He's just turning into an absolute, go-to threat. And so, Kelly Olynyk tonight, he has been, offensively, he's been such a big deal for this Utah Jazz team. 5 for 8 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3. That's 15 points. He was a +1. 9 rebounds, 6 assists. Look at that. Kelly was he was flirting a little bit with a triple-double. He was saying, "How you doing?" to a triple-double tonight. Shout out to Kelly Olynyk. I know the rebounding's not there, and that was part of the reason the Jazz lost. But then the fact is Utah does not get this close in this game without this offense, and they don't have the number 3 offense. Let's just look at it right now. So we refresh this. Let's refresh. Offensive rating in the league. The Jazz are number 5. They were number 3 before this game. They dropped to number 5. But look at the company they're keeping. Boston, Phoenix, Sacramento, the Beam team has been absolutely out of this world. Denver with Jokic and the Utah Jazz. It's amazing. And Kelly Olynyk is a big part of that. And that's a major reason why this Jazz team is at the record they're at, is because of this type of assisting. And tonight, as a team, as a team, the Jazz only had 20 assists. That's weird because normally they're tops in the league. Let's look at it just out of curiosity. Traditional assists, where are they? Right here. Utah's number 8. Interesting. That's gone down. Utah was actually up near the 30s, so I wonder if this has kind of gone down a little bit. They had 20 tonight, so that might have dropped them. But anyways, Utah's top 10 in assists per game, and so that's interesting. They were 20. That's probably a reason why they didn't win this game tonight, to be honest. Although when Tony Brothers is not calling, people getting murdered in the air, if like a WWE referee was in the game with Tony Brothers, could we tell the difference? Could we tell the difference? It's like when you're watching WWE and one of the refs turns his back. I mean, that's basically Tony Brothers. He doesn't know what's going on. Weird. Jared Vanderbilt, the story of the game tonight. Look at this. 4 for 4 from 3, and Nurkic was leaving him alone, and he knocked down every single one. This is a big deal, guys. This is a massive deal. Because if he can sit in the corner and because basically offensively, if he can be a guy that can hit a corner 3 or drive to the rim, and then we saw what he does when he assists the ball. 4 assists tonight. I mean, this is big time stuff. 16 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, ultra efficiency from 3 and from the field. This is enormous. If he can consistently knock this down and take 4 a game and hit like 40, if he could shoot 38% from 3 or maybe 40% from the corner, my goodness, that changes everything. I mean, what's his name? PJ Tucker has changed his career because of this shot, that corner 3. And if Jared Vanderbilt can do that, then that means you can all of a sudden start changing your starting lineup. It means you don't have to play Kelly Olynyk. Because guess what? Walker Kessler is knocking on that door of the starting lineup. 4 for 4 from the field. He had 8 rebounds. And, of course, 3 block shots. His absolutely just incredible play from Walker Kessler. I don't know if he's quite there yet physically. I mean, if he can handle the toll, maybe. He might be there. Next season, he's definitely there to be able to possibly start at starting center. The only thing is, like we've talked about, this group right here, this front court, they can just grab the ball and go. Every single one of these guys on this starting lineup, Markkanen, Olynyk, Vanderbilt, Clarkson, Sexton, can all rebound the ball and then go the length of the court and score or pass and set up a play. And it just sets up great offense. And it's a massive, massive reason why the Jazz are right here. because every single player on this offense can go, and every single player is setting everyone else up, and it's why they lead. They have a top 10 assist as a team, and it's just that's why Kelly Olynyk matters. He's really, really good. You know, honestly, if I think if the Jazz traded Olynyk, which who knows what's going to happen, it would affect things in a big way because he really helps that offense hum. Walker Kessler is playing incredibly well, though. I mean, he is that vertical threat, and he is allowing a lot of these guys to assist him with alley-oops and things like that. So he kind of provides that awesome offense, kind of like Rudy Gobert did. He can also actually hit a shot inside if you give him the ball and he's got someone undersized on him, and he can go and do a little hook or do some, this or that. So that's an interesting storyline. I don't know when it's going to happen, and I don't think it might, unless one of these guys gets traded. I don't see it really happening. But it's just interesting. But Jared Vanderbilt hitting those corner threes is something that makes it plausible, because a lot of the reason Olynyk was playing is because Vanderbilt's shooting wasn't there. All of a sudden, Vanderbilt might be just a nice corner 3-point shooter. And if that is the case, then, man, he becomes interesting. 3-point percentage this season, he's shooting 46% from three. I mean, at a certain point, it's real, right? I mean, how many has he done? Let's see. We're doing per game. Let's do totals. He has shot only 22. Well, let's see. Yeah, he's only shot 22. Let's see. Well, why is that 36? That's weird. Why does that go 46%, but when you go to totals... Oh, there we go. That was weird. Was that just me? Is there a ghost in the computer? What in the world? All right, 46% from three. He shot 26. What the heck was that? I'm scared. Woo, that was weird. 46% from three, 12 for 26. I mean, that's the thing. It's 26 shots. But at a certain point, I want to know let me know in the comments. How many does he need to shoot before he's just an effective 3-point shooter from the corner? I mean, if he can just shoot, if Vanderbilt can shoot 1,000 of those, and this is in game, this is Nurkic saying, I'm not going to guard you. I'm going to try to embarrass you. And he did it 4 times. I feel like that's a big deal. I know this is a loss for this Jazz team, but I feel like that's a big deal. Normally when guys aren't confident and they get left alone and someone leaves them out there, it's like an insult. And it's like, the guys who don't have that confidence, it doesn't work. But man, to be left in the corner by Nurkic and take that insult and just like put it in Nurkic's face and knock it down 4 for 4. That's like this ain't Wendy's. This ain't the 4 for 4. This is Jared Vanderbilt 4 for 4 from 3, okay? Or is it a 5 for 5? Wendy's, sponsor the channel. By the way, Peppermint Frosty, excellent. Excellent. Jordan Clarkson was fantastic. He helped me by hitting the over tonight. He took 26 shots to make 24 points, and I was happy because I got the over. But the shot was not quite falling tonight for Clarkson, and that's part of the reason why the Jazz didn't win this one. 1 for 9, 10 for 26. Some of this is just having to take tough shots at the end of the game. 3 for 3. He didn't get to the free throw line like he did last game. It's kind of, it's working with Clarkson and Sexton, but sometimes it feels a little tough. Sexton has, to his credit, become such an efficient, and he kind of always was efficient offensively. But tonight, look at this. 6 for 11, 54%, 2 for 4 from 3. Took 6 free throws, hit 5 of them, 19 points. He had 0 assists. This is where it's a little tough. He's got to figure out a way to do both. Can you do this and this? And that's where he can take another step. Only 1 turnover, though. We talked about this last night. Sexton's homework was to do less, or was that Clarkson? Clarkson also got less turnovers tonight. Hey, they did their homework. They got less turnovers. So A+ for them in terms of getting better, but the shooting wasn't there tonight for Clarkson. 2 threes. If he shoots just 33%, the Jazz win this game. Although it may have been something with Tony Brothers, with Clarkson getting DDP'd in the air, like by Diamond Dallas Page, knocked to the ground, might have hurt his arm, and maybe that was part of why he couldn't shoot the ball. Thank you, Tony Brothers. I hope, but for nothing but bad things for you in your life. I hope you stub your toe. I hope you have socks on and you step in water every time you have socks on. I hope that when you pull the hot dogs out of the fridge, the hot dog juice falls on your shirt. Those are things I hope for you, Tony Brothers. That's what I hope for you. Anyways, Taylor Horton-Tucker played. It was okay. Not that great. Malik Beasley was another rough night. Man, the shooting for Malik Beasley lately has fallen off. And this is another reason why the Jazz didn't win this game. They won the last one against the Blazers because Beasley had a monster night. Tonight, 1 for 9, 1 for 6. So it's just, Beasley's in a kind of a slump lately. And, you know, hopefully these 3 days of rest can really help him out. The Jazz need it. I need it. We all need it. We all need a day off, okay? I hope all of you get some rest tomorrow. On the Sabbath. Walker Kessler, 4 for 4. We talked about Kessler already. 8 points, 4 for 4 from the field, 8 rebounds. Just turning into such a nice upper level starter, to be honest. Who knows? There was that one block he had where he did the double jump, and it was jaw-dropping. It was absolutely jaw-dropping. The double block, the double jump was unbelievable. What he did is let's see, I think first one. Let's watch it.
THT, you can't have a
so,
under the rim than that.
So he helps here. Look at this. This was it. Boom. Watch how he stops the drive and then recovers to block the ball. That is special stuff. That is special stuff from Walker Kessler. For him to be able to do that, that was incredible. Simone Fontecchio played. He was 1 for 4. Did not hit his threes tonight, although they were pretty tough threes. They did not fall. 2 rebounds, 1 assist. That nice assist to Kessler was really good. It's fun to watch Simone Fontecchio. I would like to eventually someday watch Ochai Agbaji play. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. But not today, I guess. One day. One day. Anyways, 3 days rest. I do wonder if Mike Conley will be coming back at some point. 3 days rest is pretty good. And if he comes back, then this Jazz team gets a lot better. We'll see what happens. Guys, that's all I got. Have you subscribed to the channel yet? If you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. And you can also join the channel, become an all-star, become the end credits, or just subscribe and you can join chat. It would be amazing. You guys are all here on a Jazz loss, and so I appreciate all of you. Every single one. Let's see. Let's just refresh this and up. Wow. Up. This. Oh, we got. Let's see. Let's see. All right. All right, guys. It's time. You know what time it is. Okay, let's see. It doesn't look like we have anyone new in All-Stars yet. If you would like to join the channel, make sure you do. It supports me, it supports this channel, and helps us grow. And I just also appreciate it. Let's give a shout out to our All-Stars tonight. All right, let's give a shout out to Ryan Perry, the legend, Jared Chanderbilt, Shantheric, Jorge Arrizaga, mi amigo de Baco, Baby Elliott Matson, Jordan the GOAT, Best World, JB, Just Buckets, JB, Zap Watts, TGD, Total Game Domination. Also, again, a shout out to Zap Watts, who's part of staff at SLC Dunk, baby. Congrats to Zap Watts. Total Game Domination, TGD, Christian House Money, the Haas, Tyson Price, the Price is Right, X marks the spot for Zintis, Joshua Hansen, the Danish Destroyer, Ezekiel Raisibe, the man from Down Under, Austin R. Grant, Editor Extraordinaire, Donald School and all of us, DW to CB, Darren Williams, to Carlos Boozer, Patrick Kakuba, the Connoisseur. I'll be seeing you next week, Patrick. Robert, Hall of Fame. Guys, I hope you all have a nice day tomorrow. Get some rest, take a shower, get back to your normal selves. And we'll be back soon. I will see if I can get something up. We're probably recording SLC Dunk Podcast tomorrow. And so we'll go live. So if you haven't already, hit the bell. You'll know when we go live and you can join. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go watch something with Mrs. Hoops Nerd. I hope you guys have a great night. Like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I will talk to you next time.